Hello there, math fans. Dr. Andy Loveless. Can you name the shapes that go with these contours? Now, some of them are going to be really hard to name, but those are elevation maps of several things. Because I haven't labeled whether the height is increasing or decreasing, it's impossible to name some of them. But I'd like you to think about, and we'll go through and just quickly show you these. We're not going to go through it and talk about these very much. But here you have kind of equally spaced lines. Here you have equally spaced circles. Here you have equally spaced waves. Here you have something that's steeper on the edge. Here you have something that's very steep on the edge. Here you have one of these interesting maybe saddle points in the middle. I don't know what's going on there. This one's steeper in the middle, and this one's really steep at these little things. Can we make sense of that? Now, if you label them and we're walking along, you could talk about it, but let's just look at them one by one. Here's the first one on the right. And what I've done is I've actually made it so you can see them. I've turned them. That's actually a plane. The contours of a plane are lines. I only drew the positive ones. That's why you're only seeing part of it. It's that plane. So the first one was a plane. Did you get it? Let me know in the comments. Did you get that one right? It's a plane. Okay, let's keep playing this game. So here we go to the next one. What do you think that is? Equally spaced lines. What could it be? Let's tilt it up and see. Oh, it's a cone. It's this cone. Cones have these things go up at a constant rate. All right, did you get that cone? It's just the upper cone I showed you there, but there it is. And I made these so that they all could animate. If you're still having trouble with level curves, here you go. Yay, that was fun. Let's do it for the other one too. Here we go. Let's drop those to the ground. Thank you, friends. Very good. Too much fun with these animations. What about the wavy one? They're going at a constant rate. It's actually increasing. It looks like this. It's a little. Oh, I drew the ground too. I didn't mean to. The ground's already there. So here we go. There's this. Let's drop those to. Well, let's show you the surface. There's the surface. It actually goes. It's this wave, 3D tilted wave. Let's send those to the ground. Boom, boom. Too much fun with this. Okay, on to the next one. What about this one? It gets steeper on the edge. So the further away you get, it's steeper. And I can tell you the edge is higher, higher up. Let's take a look. Oh, it's a paraboloid. So similar to the first one, but it gets steeper as you go out. It's this shape. All right, let's send those to the ground. See you later. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Okay, what about this one? So in one direction it's going up, and the other it's going down. That means you have one of these points where it's like a happy parabola one way and a sad parabola the other way. It's the Pringles chip. That's the Pringles chip. And I reduced it a little bit so you could see it. There's the Pringles chip. Hyperbolic Paraboloid. It actually extends. I just chopped it off so you could see it there. Let's send those to the ground. See you later. Clunk, 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 clunk. All right, that was fun. Next one. Gets steeper on the edge by a lot. Now, there's a certain circular object that gets extremely steep, infinitely steep, as you get close to the edge. And that's the upper hemisphere. The sphere gets extremely steep on the edge. It's like a cliff in terms of slope. So that's the upper hemisphere. Let's send that down to the ground. And I do have to always think about how I'm going to do contours. But here you go. Let's send the sphere to the ground. Clunk, clunk. The sound effects are free. All right, this is an unusual one. It's actually getting bigger as you go out. So as you walk out, it gets bigger. They're all straight lines. Actually, you should already have an inkling from this one how this behaves. That's going to be a plane. This is also going to be a plane. This is going to be a plane. This is going to be a plane. It's some sort of absolute value function that's doing this. I had to make one up that would make this happen. My mouse is not working for a second. Here it goes. It's this. It's actually like the corner of a cube on its end. I made a video about that if you're curious. That's what it looks like. Let's send those to the ground. Thump, 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 thump. Fun to look at that. That was entertaining. Next one. So now let's look at this one. This one gets steeper towards the middle. And I can tell you actually the contours are getting higher towards the middle if I labeled the elevations. So it's higher in the middle. It's a little peak. I've been calling that a witch's hat. It's extremely steep there in the middle. That looks like that. It's actually an asymptote as you go out for the function I chose. Let's send those to the ground. Thump, 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 thump. All right. This one. So we'll end with this one. What do you think that could be? So it's steep. It's all circular as it goes out. Let's take a look. Whoa. It's a ripple. Some sort of ripple. I actually did a little more with this one. So here's the actual shape. I'll make it appear here. Oh, I see. So here we go. I'm going to get rid of that for a second, and then I'll show you why I'm calling this the ripple. Here we go. I'm going to draw a bunch of water. Here's a bunch of water, and let's drop a pebble in. Here we go. I'm going to drop this pebble in. Uh-oh, where's my pebble? Oh, it's animating too slow. So here comes this pebble. Let's stop it for a second. So I'm going to send this pebble in here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There it is. When it hits the water, let's see what happens. All right, so here we go. Sending the pebble in. It hits the water. Ooh, that's the ripple. Anyways, had some fun making that. So you can see it gets really steep right where the so-called ripples are. And that's how we get those contours like that. Like I said, I was trying to come up with something more exotic to finish this off with. That's kind of fun. And here are my contours on it. There they are. I always have to be careful how I choose my contours here so that they actually make it up there. But let's end with that. All right. Thanks for listening. Hope that's interesting.